Welcome to episode 54 of Rise of the Star-Lords, Death from Above. It's been a little bit, but I'm glad to be back. Last time we met up, our heroes, they were trying to reunite as they'd been scattered all over. Finn had visited Berthana, Lahan and Ava were defending the North Gate, and Jacinto and Gror had defended Tanner's Bridge and then moved to deal with some other giants. And Lahan had managed to get her brothers to warm up they'd already warmed up the Heartbreaker, but she'd gotten them to come and start picking people up because they wanted to head off another orbital strike. And Finn demonstrated
because they're bad.
Huh?
Because they're bad. They're very bad.
Yeah. Finn demonstrated the ability to turn into light and move at light speed. Finn and Lahan got picked up in the ship. Ava's just about to be picked up. And Gror and Jacinto are currently battling a trio of giants, one of which is quite obviously dressed and equipped differently and probably in a superior fashion, indicating that they're probably maybe a boss of some sort. And we don't want to forget this. All the way to the south of the town, in the rich part of town, there was another drop pod that came down over there. And I remember last time we had the revelation that Lahan was like, wait, my house is over there.
Yeah, we did. But we're awfully busy with a lot of things.
Yeah, I understand that, but I didn't want us to forget again. The icebreaker this week is courtesy of your face. It's what's the worst style or fashion trend that your character ever embraced? And let's start with Tom and Jacinto.
Well, I'm so glad you chose me first because I have the most cliche one. Jacinto adopted fedoras for a very long time.
I thought you were going to say hammer pants.
No, that would also be great. But no, Jacinto was very into fedoras. He had to get them, what's even worse is he had to sort of cut a hole in it for his flower to pop through. So it looked even more ridiculous. But
thanks, I hate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. That was a phase of his life that he is glad to, that was some character development on his part because he looks back on it and he cringes. Therefore, he has developed.
I imagine that there are so many pictures of you with those fedoras. You and Rackus had the hammer pants, or Rackus dressed straight from Hot Topic.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna make that call for Simon.
What about Nick and Lahan?
Lahan is still sort of doing dumb things, right? He is still a teenager. But I get the worst style or fashion trend. Man, I don't know. Yeah, that's it. I got nothing. I was not prepared. I'm sorry, Jet.
It's fine.
Are you wearing bell bottoms?
What? These are cool.
Lahan, are you wearing a dress with giant poofy shoulders?
You hush your face.
Or a businesswoman with giant shoulder pads in her jacket?
Everything Lahan does is cool. She's 19. She's never made any bad choices ever.
Sure. How about...
the cringe.
How about Conrad and Gror?
All right. So when Gror was a child, he grew up in the wild, and he was introduced to civilized society as basically an adolescent. So this is also his first introduction to clothes because, right, why would you wear clothes in the wild? There's no need for it. So he was just floored by the vast amount of styles and especially colors available. So there are pictures floating around of Grower wearing 4 different colored shoes, and one on each paw, as well as pants and shirts that also do not match because, we're not born with the idea of which colors go together, and the Grower certainly wasn't. So there are pictures of him with all the colors of the rainbow across one article of clothing or another with no rhyme or reason whatsoever.
Nice.
I love that.
Leif and Ava.
See, you said mine earlier. Ava's was the huge shoulder pads in the suits.
Oh god. Oh god.
It was a real trend back when she was a young murderer in the jungle, looking to make a name for herself.
And I'm gonna step in for Finn here, and I'm gonna say Juggalo.
Yeah. It must be done. This is what happens when you're not here.
Else.
But he who has never worn clown face paint through the first stone.
I mean, I've gone to school looking like Gene Simmons before, so not exactly a clown, but Juggalo adjacent, I would say. Man, I was friends with so many Juggalos back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's why to this day I still prefer warm Faygo Moon Mist over Mountain Dew.
Huh. Okay.
Faygo, come on. No one know anything about Juggalos?
No.
I only know what the McElroy brothers have poked fun at.
No, this is fascinating. This is a whole new, introspection. This is a part of culture I didn't know existed. Tell me more.
Well, we'll talk about it some other time, not on the air.
Oh, fine.
So, when last we left off, Finn and Lahan were in the Heartbreaker. The twins and Oswin had picked them up, and the craft had descended low enough for Ava to step inside. It is now turn 19. The ship does descend so that Ava can be picked up, and now it is Ava's turn to act. What are you doing in the Heartbreaker?
As Ava's climbing onto the ship, she is pulling a Mark III serum of healing from her belt because she is absolutely beat to phlegm, and I imagine she's being helped on by one of the brothers, just conveniently the envoy brother. And she just kind of like one eye's swollen shut. She's just absolutely looking horrible, but also very menacing. So she just kind of looks at him and she says, "Got any way to heal me?" As she just chugs this serum of healing for oh gosh, how many? This is the one thing I didn't look up before stream. How many do you roll with the Mark III?
I think it's 68 for a Mark III.
I'm pretty sure it's 68 because I think a Mark II is 3d8.
She gets 20 HP back.
And you said the envoy was the one that you specifically wanted?
Yes,
obviously, yes. The one that can give me stamina back.
That's Kimball.
They do the predator, like the predator handshake or the Hercules forearm grab to pull you on board, and they're like, "Don't worry, Ava, you can do this. You're the living genocide, and you recover 22 stamina."
Aren't I playing Kimball Valdemar, the envoy?
Hey, if you want to step in and roleplay, go for it.
I was going to, and then you just charged forward and stole my character moment. That's fine, Jed. It's fine.
Let's have Tom's character moment happen.
I was going to make a whole goof about how, well, have you taken damage in the last 6 seconds? Otherwise, no, I can't give you stamina points back.
Yes, I have, actually.
Oh, well, fair enough.
She punches herself in the face. She's her own worst enemy, after all.
She deals herself 5 damage just so she can heal 22.
Yeah. But
yeah. So that's Ava's turn. Lahan, you're on
She's
the
just going to stay by
heartbreaker.
the door.
We're gonna go take down that ship.
Sure. Okay. So you're angling up, probably with the intention, because I believe Ava made it known that she was jumping back out of the ship at some point. So you're probably arcing over the fight with Jacinto and Grar as sort of a drop zone. And we'll finish this turn and then things will progress. So it is a giant's turn.
Not a giant.
Yeah, a giant. Their first initial is A. Shift click us.
Is that short for Aloysius?
Aloysius Giant. The third.
Yes, of
Junior.
course.
The third Junior.
His name.
Third of
God.
his name, Junior. And it happens to be the commander, the captain, as it were. Oh, and Grar is 15 feet away, and this person super has 15 feet of reach. And as you can see, I have done up a little bit of a map. It's a little bit better than the other one.
No, I saw that. You're documenting the damage he's wrought.
Yep. As he has just like walked through the upper stories of these houses. And he is going to stab out at you, Grar, with his White Star Nova Lance.
Oh, no.
I think it's going to be a full attack. Because why not? Roll all. Ho 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 ho!
Because it's rude. That's why.
So, my first attack is a measly 13 on the die for a total of 32 to hit, which I think misses Grar.
I think so too. Please hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely misses.
But the second one happens to be what I like to call a natural 20.
Still misses.
For a total of 39 and 71 electric and fire damage.
So, hold on. So 39 plus 71?
No. So 30. It was a natural 20 on the die for a total of 39 to hit. 71 electric and fire damage.
Oh, that's it?
I rolled a lot of ones on the dice. I'm sorry, and it's all
Okay.
D4s. It's just a very average weapon, but
Yeah. That's fine.
less peaks and valleys, more in the middle.
Alright, so 3 of that is the yard away, so it's a mere 68. I'm going to use my mitigate ability to reduce that by 11 further, so that's going to be a measly 57.
A measly 57. How's your stamina holding up? Oh gosh, you have so much stamina.
I told you!
Vanguards, man.
He needs to crit me twice like that to actually do some red damage to me.
Sure. And don't forget that you do gain entropy points for significant damage.
I don't. No, I don't, because I tried to mitigate some of it. I successfully mitigated some of it.
Sure, okay.
Conrad, I have a question for you.
Go on.
You're a Vanguard. You were crit. Are we high enough? Yeah, we should be high enough level, or are we? No, we're level 11, not level 12. Never mind. Nope.
We're so close.
We're very close to level 12 where you can get that.
Okay,
cool
so I
thing.
assume we're very close to Conrad being just awful about something when I crit.
Oh,
Just literally exploding. It's like Vanguards at level 12 get aspect, I think Catalyst it's called.
yeah,
or
the
something
level
like that.
3 one.
Yeah. It's like a Solarian supernova as a reaction, where it's like, oh, then everybody takes this much more damage, or every enemy is staggered, or everybody else gets like stamina points back or something. It's very cool. Vanguards are really
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Sure. This giant here has a wisp ally, a ghostly wisp just like flying around its head, distracting it, because you are having it provide harrying fire, and it kicked Artanya last time, and it really regretted kicking Artanya. That
Yeah, it
hurts
hurts.
so much. And it's gonna try and croquet mallet Artanya twice.
Good. You shouldn't kick danger spiders.
I know. Instead, it's gonna be like a croquet mallet with a ferromagnetic storm hammer.
That's still gonna hurt. I'll have you know. That's still gonna hurt him.
I understand that. The giant doesn't understand that.
Yeah, that's fair. Weird
He'll
spiky
learn.
things.
Hopefully.
But-
Or he'll die.
I rolled a 10 on the die for a total of 25, and a 4 on the die for a total of 19.
All right, Artanya, what you got?
I think those both might miss. I feel like 26. Yeah.
26 is the KAC. Whew.
So Artanya is like squatting down, leaping from side to side, dodging this ferromagnetic storm hammer, and just going.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Man,
and
Artanya's
then-
gotten so dangerous. It's ridiculous.
Quite a dangerous spider. I do love that little Artanya.
And then this last giant is going to continue just rooting around in this house right now and pull out another person and throw them in their null space chamber. I think they're up to 2 peoples, and it's now Garar's turn. Garar's turn.
So we're still planning on killing the Artanya dueling giant, right?
Yeah, focusing fire, taking down that giant might be a better idea than.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I can
think-
only take like 3 or 4 more of those crits before I start getting concerned.
Well, the good news is there's only 120 on a die, right? So, like, what are the odds of you getting crit like 3 more times, right?
Famous last words.
They're very low until you said something of that nature. All right. Let me shimmy over this way. I think my reach is a mere 15. Actually, no. My reach is only mere 15, isn't it? Why was I there? Why wasn't I closer to the other giant? I was fighting it, right?
Yeah, you were. It's just the new map. Things didn't quite. I put you close. I put you. I thought within reach of that creature because you had 15
Okay.
foot.
Yeah. I do. So, okay, now we have changed nothing, and I'm in 15 feet range of the giant. I'm going to make a full attack to try to eliminate it from the ranks of the living. Please hold. Dice will look as follows.
you were
22 and
targeting-
29 against KAC. The Artanya dueling giant.
Okay, and those are versus. You said KAC or EAC?
So EAC, what am I saying?
EAC.
Matters
So
there.
the first one will just miss. The second one will hit. So 38 damage as your entropic claws just rend
Yeah.
pieces of this giant out of
Right,
existence.
I make part of its reality. Yep, that's me.
It's not. It hurts. It's not feeling great. Jacinto, what would you like to do?
I would like to stop paying attention to the fight so I can plan ahead with what spells I want to use on these giants and stuff. But live and learn. Wow, my spell slots are low. So I think Jacinto's going to let Artanya do his thing because Artanya is a big boy now and he gets a full suite of actions. Artanya is going to guarded step up here to the north of the giant and technically gain flanking with Growl.
Oh, I think I had flanking, didn't I?
You did not because I was here.
Well, no, you didn't have. Well, I think if you draw a line between the centers of our characters, it will intersect the enemy, right?
It's got to be. It's got to go through 2 different sides. Is the 2 opposite sides specifically?
Okay.
Yeah. So now we do have flanking.
Okay.
And with that, Artanya will take a single attack because even though we have flanking, I don't feel that confident about his.
You also have the
bonus.
wisp. Don't forget.
Yes, the wisp does refresh on my turn, so we'll take that +2 to the first attack, and so add 4 to this result. A 28 versus KAC.
That's definitely hits for 28 piercing
28 for
damage.
28 piercing. Well, when that matches up.
Why are you trying to kill my innocent giants who just want to kidnap a bunch of people and cause havoc?
Yeah, their life is so hard.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very innocent, Jet.
This is one of those turns that really makes me wonder whether I should multi-class Jacinto into Envoy, because like I find myself at a lack of things to do. So I think I'll come up here.
Jacinto multi-classes Solarian.
Oh man, don't tempt me, Jet.
Lightning Solarian. Jacinto.
No, stop. Don't stop. Jacinto moves up here and as a standard action is going to try and lie to this spooky giant, spending another one of his precious resolve points. We are down to 6 of 12 resolve points. And we're going to tell this giant a cosmic truth. So let me... Oh, I actually have a button for that. Ooh,
right?
Please fail. Please make it a won't save because I've rolled very well on the D4.
I'll tell you that there's a very slim chance that it fails this because remember, the will saves are very high for my giants.
Obnoxious.
They are, yeah, I remember that.
And I rolled a 10 on the die.
That's going to be a
DC by 5.
Okay, all right. Well, their will saves aren't that high in the grand scheme of things. But yes, that is a success. All right, well, that's my turn then. And we have 1 round left of Song of the Spheres.
Sure.
Remember, Grog, that means that you are hastened as well for one more round.
And we've got Finn.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. So I could have...
You made a full attack last turn anyway.
Yeah, but I could have moved and made a full attack, right?
Yeah.
So I could have gone to flanking and hit it twice instead of once. Oh,
Oh, oops, we did a goof.
Sorry.
Finn, it's their turn, his turn. He's in the Heartbreaker. Is there anything we think that Finn would have done in the Heartbreaker on this turn?
Gone to a station, most likely.
Sure, there we go.
Preparing for Starship combat.
Preparing for Starship combat. It is now turn 20. Turn 20, normally the orbital strike is going to descend, but what is instead going to happen is the Heartbreaker shoots up into the heavens, making a beeline for the ship hovering over Sandpoint, raining death and destruction upon it. And Ava, what are you doing? Real quick.
Ava calls up Jacinto on the comm unit and says, "All right, Jacinto, I'm coming in. I need you to give me precise coordinates." As she steps into the drop pod that is installed on this ship. It's definitely there.
Jacinto, with his knowledge of both physical science and survival, is totally equipped to do this.
Perfect.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
drop pods only cost 5 BP. We definitely have one of those in the heart.
Yeah, that's what I was
Marvelous.
thinking.
Yeah. Ava steps into the drop pod and like crosses her arms over her chest, and straps secure her in position, and all of it, and the hatch closes over her, and there's just an explosion as just like the jet propulsion just launches her like a missile down at the earth. And,
Into the boss giant.
That is exactly what I was hoping
Yes,
for. Give me the coordinates of one of the enemies.
If we want to make up something when we come back to this ground combat, I am okay to make some sort of skill check to have something cool like that happen.
Perfect.
But I'm gonna bring us over here to a new map, or. And this
I'm worried. Why am I worried?
This is the Sandpoint Hinterlands. I'm going to zoom us in a little bit. Zoom in. As you can see, the Heartbreaker is right there, directly above Sandpoint, slightly off to the side, but at a higher elevation is the ship that's been bombarding your town. And I just realized I forgot to pull up the rules for atmospheric starship combat, but I definitely have them. I've looked at them recently. And we'll refresh everyone's memories as soon as I get to them. That is not. I got it. Character op, hack, starship operations, atmospheric friction. Here we go. So, atmospheric friction. It can quickly tear apart starships of even the highest tier, and it's as dangerous to small, lightly armored starships as it is to massive warships. The amount of friction generated by a starship is determined by the friction level in the layer of the atmosphere that the starship is traveling through. An atmosphere's friction level is an abstraction of the atmosphere's density and the amount of debris in the air. For the purposes of this system, atmospheres have 5 distinct layers classified by similarities in temperature and density. While the names and exact properties of these layers vary on different worlds, an atmosphere's layers generally become denser the closer one gets to the planetoid's surface. The greater an atmosphere's density, the slower a starship must move through it in order to avoid taking damage from friction between the starship's hull and the atmosphere's molecules. See table 2.7 below, and we'll get into that in just a second. Atmospheric friction summarizes the effects of atmospheres based on the thickness of each atmosphere's layers. Highest refers to the layer furthest from the planetoid's surface, while lowest refers to the layer closest to the planetoid's surface. When a starship moves faster than its maximum safe speed in the atmosphere layer that it's in, it takes hull point damage equal to the starship's tier times the atmosphere's friction multiplier for every hex moved beyond the starship's maximum safe speed. This damage is dealt to the starship's forward quadrant. I'm going to just say, the way I described this, you guys are going to be in this, like, the second highest atmosphere layer, unless you intentionally tell me you're dropping down or rising up above. The maximum safe speed is 5 hexes. So, the friction multiplier is 1.5. So it is 1.5 times your tier, which is 1.5 times 11. That is how much damage your forward quadrant will take for every hex you move beyond 5.
That's wild.
As your ship starts heating up cherry red.
I kind of like that initially.
Is there anything we can do to reduce that?
Go the appropriate speed.
That's a fair answer.
Sorry, I don't have a better answer for you than go the right speed, but that's what it is.
Fine.
Sorry.
Flip their wings.
See how it is?
So, who is taking what position? Who is playing who? Because as you guys, as viewers, as you've noticed, we don't have the entire crew on the Heartbreaker. We have Finn, we have Lahan, and we have Lahan's 3 brothers. The twins, Kimball and Sebastian, and then we have Oswin.
Sorry, I'm going to be playing Kimball today. Kimball Valdemar, who is the charismatic, I like to think the sexiest of the brothers. Because he's the envoy. He does think so, yes. So Kimball is going to seat himself snugly in the captain's chair, sort of rebuffing Finn, saying, oh, no. I've been flying this ship for some time now. I'll be captaining today, thank you.
So, I will be playing Sebastian, and Sebastian sees Kimball do this. He's a little bit upset because that's what he wanted to do, and but he respects that his brother called it. He's not about to start any ruckus at this time. That can wait till later. So he gives his brother a pat on the shoulder and jumps into one of the guns and takes aim at some of the monsters threatening their city.
Meanwhile, Oswin, who will be played by me, is taking up his station in the engine room, and reminding, all right, now, Lahan, remember, in atmosphere, we got to be careful, otherwise the ship's going to get pulled to bits by the friction forces.
Right. We can't let her all the way out. Got it.
And
Lahan slips into her normal piloting seat, and a little wire connects to her exocortex. That'll allow her to also take engineering and science officer actions as minor crew actions. And let's do this.
would you like Finn to be doing anything?
I think Finn grabs. Oh,
Finn can be chief mate.
Yeah,
Or
Finn,
the other gunner.
yeah.
or if you have a secondary weapons, they could be another gunner.
Yeah, there's a laser net on there as well that should be manned.
We do. Yeah, we do also have a laser net.
Sure. Yeah, Finn can laser net.
And you have upgraded the ship. Is there anything drastically new that people might want to know about? Because we haven't seen the Heartbreaker in a while. You upgraded it from what,
The drop pod?
6? Yeah, you have a drop pod.
Yeah, we got aside from that drop pod that was definitely there when I upgraded this ship. You know what? I'm gonna bum Fuzzle's belt just so I don't feel so dirty. There we go. Bum Fuzzle's belt. Now it was there the whole
It
time.
sounded really dirty, Tom.
Yes, I did sound really dirty. I'm just gonna bum Fuzzle's belt. So on the Heartbreaker, we upgraded our deflector shields to 15 in each arc. Deflector shields, for those of you who don't have much experience with them, think of them like DR, but for starships. Damage reduction, but for starships, I should say. So value of 15, say we get hit for 30 damage, we are going to reduce that by whatever the deflector shield value is in the arc in which we take the damage. So say it's 15, 30 minus 15, the hull points are reduced by 15. So we are going to take guaranteed damage every hit we take, unless it's lower than our deflector shield value. But the upside is we don't lose as much shield per hit. We just lose one deflector shield value per hit. So that's deflector shields in a nutshell. We have now linked shadow beam projectors on this baby, which is 8d10 on a single hit in a line, I should have you know. So yes, this ship has a line weapon now. Well, it had a line weapon before, but it has line weapons. And it has a laser net, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just some numbers went up, mostly. That's aside from the linked guns, which are also numbers going up.
So those linked guns combined, it's what, 8d6 you said, right?
8d10,
8d10.
my friend.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's like Death Sphere light, because the Death Sphere thing to do from the days of yore. Back in my day when we played Dead Sun, we flew a linked persistent particle beam that did like 20d6 in a single hit, and that's a real quick way to end starship combat. It's not very interesting. So, I think line weapons are cooler. Because they can hit multiple ships if you're ever fighting multiple ships at once.
It's pretty great.
Yeah. Cool. So this is Starship Combat, and I have an Excel sheet out that'll help me remember things. We need to start with Phase 1, which is why? That doesn't make any sense. Engineering. No.
First thing is
piloting.
choosing roles, and then it's engineering.
And it's engineering. Then it's Helm. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry, as you can tell, I haven't run a Starship Combat in quite a while. Tom was so kind and great at facilitating Starship Combat and Fly Free or Die. I chief mated, so.
Yeah, so.
The trick of running it is just to make shit up, Flame.
They meant Flame.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, who's to say I'm not going to? But you guys have to do things in a certain order.
We do.
Yeah,
yes,
so we're going to, of course, start with the engineering phase. But I guess we should determine roles, as Nick said.
You did a little bit.
Yeah.
One mechanic. Nick, not Nick. Nick's in the corner. Nick's the pilot. Lahan was the pilot, plus could do some other roles if necessary.
All of them, if necessary.
was Gunner, correct? Sebastian, captain.
Yeah. Kimball is captain. Sebastian is gun.
Oh, sorry.
They don't like it when you
Come
mix
on.
them up.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We're not identical, okay? I'm
Two
clearly
different
sexier than
humans.
Sebastian.
The operative is just built like a weightlifter.
You're clearly more insufferable, is what you are.
And Finn's quietly.
Not the
sitting there
time.
So it is the engineering phase. You have determined roles. Who is
Yes.
acting? The captain, the chief mate, the engineer, and the magic officer can now act.
Engineer, what you gonna do?
Yeah, looking, it doesn't make sense to do the usual engineer thing because we don't need more speed.
Boost guns?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Boost the guns.
Good point. All right, we'll go ahead and boost them guns.
Them guns.
Ooh, here comes the engineering check.
Welcome to the gun show.
Welcome to the gun show. 32 is going to make that DC by a good lot. So, guns are boosted. All ones are now twos.
Sure.
Love that.
All right. Anyone else acting?
Nah.
Nah. Okay. Helm phase.
All right. Pilot.
Pilot. Captain pilot. Chief mate, science officer can now act.
After piloting.
Oh no!
Determine initiative.
Yep. I am looking up my piloting. I've got that. Slash. I did not program anything in because 26.
Okay, so we go first, which doesn't always happen, but that's okay.
You rolled a 1.
Yeah, I will give that ship a scan.
Sure.
And this has this various other bonuses. It's at least 34. I think it's even higher than that, but it's at least 34.
You're scanning, and scanning is
We also have, you should note, +2 to any 3 checks per round.
so you beat it by so you're getting 2 pieces of information. And the pieces of information, I thought it gave me a list of an order of what you get. Does it start with weapons, or are you guys going to just ask? It's been a while. Apologize.
You go down the options. So the first rung, second rung, third rung. In the scanning result.
Basic information, then defense.
Yeah, so
weapons. Alrighty. The living crew complement, ship classification, size, speed, and maneuverability. The living crew complement, there are 5 people on board. And the ship classification, it is a large destroyer. And
I know what that means. That sounds pretty bad.
that's 2 pieces of information right there.
well, we get the whole rung.
You get the whole block,
all of the
sorry.
basic information.
Sure. So it large, like I said, and speed and maneuverability. Thank you for bearing with me. It has a speed of 6. It's not very fast. Maneuverability average. So that's the first block. Defenses, you get its AC. Its AC is 27. Target lock is 26. Total and current hull points 190.
That's a lot.
It's a big old ship. Its total and current shield points. It has deflector shields. It only stops 12 damage. It's scrimped on the shields. And its core PCU value is... Where did I put that on the sheet? I am a foolish fool. 250 PCU.
Okay.
But, it's actually outputting more than it should. It's reading as a pulse orange, but there's something wonky, and you have determined that it's actually an Abyssium pulse orange.
Cool, cool.
So
That's the way to go.
It's got a boosted output. They're running with some NOS. So that's your information right there. You got the classifications, the basics, and you got the defenses.
Okay. Neato, gang.
What?
No, you just cut out for just a second for me.
Yeah, I'm on push to talk for reasons, and it sucks. I have to hold this button, and of course I can't hold this button if I have Discord open or World 20. Don't worry about it. I'm not hitting the button. I lost my train of thought entirely. Dang it. Shoot. I was going to do a piloting thing. I was going to maneuver to reduce the distance between our turns. Yes, that's it. Did I lose you guys? Are you dead? It's a 36 to maneuver.
Oh, nice.
Which you're doing the maneuver, which is a DC 31. So you make it by 5.
We don't have control of the ship.
You don't have control of the ship. That is poopy. Controlled by.
Probably easy. Oh, yeah, that's fine.
You have it now.
Thank you. And, well, we can only move 5, but now we have turn of 1. Let's just get up behind this thing.
Which way is forward? Because that's going to be very important for us.
It is that pink line.
Yeah, forward. And that's not going to work.
Because green would be your starboard, red is your port.
Right, okay.
Ah, heck. How are we going to do this? I guess we'll just get beside it. That's all we got.
Okay.
Oh no, that won't work either. Yeah, we'll have to be here. It's the only way to do it.
All right.
And stay under the speed limit.
Yeah. Yeah, you're muted, bud.
I said I just realized that I have the enemy ship oriented incorrectly, and it's going to have to fly backwards, I think.
Ooh.
Why?
If you look at the colors. Green's on what should be its port side. Red is what's on... I can't talk.
What side should the forward be? That's what I need to know.
Forward is pink. It's just, I have the... Sorry, it's the I drive boats and port and starboard, and the colors matter, and I flip-flopped those colors.
I see.
So you have moved, you have done your science officer check, and it gets to respond in kind, and... Okay, so what happens... No, why? That's 4 hexes. Oops. Oh, gosh. There we go. And I think that's where it's going to end up. And that should be 5 hexes. And it has a
Bummer summer.
Yeah. We can't go 12 hexes and do all sorts of crazy corkscrews and stuff.
Oh, I meant
can.
because we just can't fire on them with our big gun this turn.
Yeah. I mean, I have a big gun. I want to fire at you guys. But yeah, that is my so dramatic turn. We're out of the helm phase. We're into the gunnery phase.
On this phase, Kimball is going to taunt the enemy ship viciously. So we are going to make a bluff check. And Kimball is going to say something to the effect, he's going to, hail the other ship and send out an all comms message to them saying, what's he going to say? You better get out of here before the rest of our fleet shows up. And he will bluff them. The bluffing heck. Do I think a 32 is going to do it? We know the tier of this starship, right?
Yeah, so tier 11.
Tier 11, so I know for a fact whether or not that's going to make it. And I have Convincing Liar on Kimball, so I can re-roll this if I don't think that'll make it. So, what is the DC here is going to be 31. Oh, that's awesome. I beat it then. So, they are now, they're going to take that penalty. Sorry, it's been a while since I've captained. Taunt. If you are successful, each enemy character acting during the selected phase takes a -2 penalty to all checks for 1d4 rounds. It increases to a -4 if the enemy's check is made as part of a push action. So that's important for you to know whether they're making push actions or not. But I will roll a d4 for 4 rounds. So the gunnery phase on this dragon-headed ship is going to be taking a -2 penalty for 4 rounds.
Sure.
I am a convincing liar. And that is my captain action.
That's your captain action. Yeah.
So after Kimball finishes that saying, Sebastian goes, what do you mean the rest of her? Oh, I gotcha. Nice.
You're like, oh, I gotcha. And then a single laser lances out from the what is supposed to be the port side of the enemy ship as they fire a gyro laser. And I assume you also attack them.
You assume correctly. I don't know which one to hit.
No.
The laser net.
Yeah, I guess we can shoot the laser net.
Yeah. So it's going to ask you to click through a bunch of windows, Conrad. I don't know if the sheet gun will work or not, but it's worth a shot.
Where's the laser net on this character sheet?
So you're going to go to the character sheet, scroll down to the middle of it, right below the hex representation of the arcs. You'll see forward port, aft, starboard, turret.
Yes.
For the laser net on the turret. So click that. Click the text laser net.
All right, fire at will, yes or no?
Fire at will is a full attack with...
You don't have anything else fire in this arc. No.
Yeah, so you don't... No.
Use computer, yes or no?
Yes.
Which arc? So I'm guessing we're firing from our left.
Which would
It would be
be
your
port.
port.
It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
It just changes the little text on the box.
We did it!
You
Take
hit
that.
exactly for
Five. 5 damage because the guns were boosted.
okay, 5 damage, and that would be the port.
Yep.
So that
their port-
damage is stopped, but the port shield is down to 11, and you got a gyro laser coming at you. A 16 probably does not hit.
Super doesn't.
Super doesn't. I rolled very poorly.
Yep.
Okay,
that was
we
just
forgive you.
it was a little, a testing round where we both sort of just meh at each other.
Yeah. Pew, pew.
Yes, exactly.
We radio each other, and they're like, "Do you guys just want to take the time and face each other and just use our big guns and see what happens?" No. After we just shoot each other with our little pop guns for a while.
Yeah.
But it's back to engineering phase. Captain, chief mate, engineer, and magic officer.
We need to try and lure them out into open space, I think, as I roll another engineering check to boost guns. Hey, same number. Just barely, but it's boosted again.
Nice.
Bam. Cool. Anyone else want to do anything?
No.
No. Then I think we are on to the Helm Phase. And we need to make our piloting checks. And you're going to smoke me. I got a
Here's hoping.
26. And you got a 30.
Much better. That's more like it.
Yeah.
All right. Let us... Hey! I did successfully maneuver. I rolled a natural 20. That's what it took.
Well done.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. You're going to move to... There you go.
No, that's turn 0.
Oh, yep, nope, I did it bad. So,
You have to move 1 in between.
okay, so move 1. So it's every other, basically.
No, turn 1 is you move 1 space and then you can turn one facing.
Okay, so 1.
I thought the core rulebook said you had to have turn 0 to go directly around something.
No, I think turn 0 is you just turn in place. I might be wrong though. I'm
I mean, I'm okay with... Here, I was facing this direction.
I guess we should double check. But
yeah, that's
To the Google.
okay. Turns. A ship with average maneuverability making 2 turns in a round must move at least 2 hexes before its first turn and at least 2 more hexes before its second turn. Average is a distance between turns too. So good is distance between turns.
So 2 hexes and then a single turn is what I need to do. Okay.
If you have a maneuverability of average, then your turn rating is 2.
and if you reduced it, then you have to move 1, and then you can turn. Then 1.
Okay. So
Yes.
yeah, and I did
Yes.
successfully reduce it, so I only have to move the 1.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's it.
move.
You're correct.
Then turn and then move. Because I did successfully do the maneuver. Or
The maneuver.
the maneuver son.
The maneuver.
Yeah, and now you get to not be in front of my main guns anymore. Feel free to do that.
Maneuver.
The maneuver.
It's good to win initiative.
It is. It's very good.
I think you know what, I'll save my encouragement for the gunner this phase, but I'll throw you some encourage eventually, little sister.
I also tried to maneuver. I only got a 25 though. What's the UCL?
It's 31, I believe.
Okay. In that case, I don't make it. Is there any? It doesn't have any drawbacks. 15 plus 1.5. 15 plus 1.5 is 60, 20.
Did I
It's 21.
miscalculate?
It's 31 because our ship is tier 11.
Oh, yeah, it's 1.5. Yes, I added badly. You're right. 31. Yep. Okay, so our turn is still 2.
What happened to our Gydra?
Oh, Gydra just ran away. Or went quiet.
Blake's on the case.
I'm over here.
This is terrible.
You could just move us faster, and then we'll take some damage and eat the damage, so we can hit them with a lot more damage.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We could-
I really think we just need to get out of the atmosphere.
It's a question of whether they'll follow us, though.
Oh no, I have put the heck in. I can't turn.
It's behind like a window.
There it is. I was behind the bubbles, that pop up.
Yeah.
That is forward art. That was like all of our moves. That was like 11 hexes.
We're gonna take a lot of damage for that.
That was 11 hexes?
We have 13 of speed. So
Okay, so you moved 11 hexes. The safe speed is 5 hexes in this layer of atmosphere. And you take the damage.
I mean, I could double check it, but yeah.
And you take the damage for every hex beyond.
So 1.5 times our tier is 16.
Oh, I guess we only had to use 9.
Okay, so 3 times 16. No, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 times 16. Don't know why I did not do that basic math correctly. So 30.
Well, we take it each hex, right? So would it technically be divvied up by our deflector shields then?
I would say yes.
Okay. So then it is 16 for each one, and we take it 4 times. So we take 1 hull point, 2 hull points, plus 3, plus 4. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10.
Wait, let's only move 8. What has that much to produce it?
We
don't technically have to move that last one for the turn.
Okay. Yeah. Then we will only take 1 plus 2 plus 3.
6.
Or 6. 6 hull points, and the deflector shields are reduced by 3. That is perfectly acceptable, I think.
I love the interaction between deflector shields and atmosphere. That's fun, I think.
Yeah, I like it, and it makes sense to my not Starship knowledgeable brain. Taking off 6 hull points has brought us down to 69 hull points. Nice.
I don't like this.
All right, so yeah, I don't know if we can get them up out of the atmosphere, but if we can, that would free us up. But that's all right if we have to fight them down here. We just got to stay on their tail. Now that we've got the advantage here, maybe we'll keep it.
Yeah, let me actually use my minor action to give them another scan while we're at it.
Not a bad idea. See what kind of guns they're rocking.
Tell us everything else about this ship, Jet.
All right.
That's a natural 20.
Yeah, for a total of 48. You can stop pulling on my chair.
Plus 2 because of my because I'm connected to the ship through my exocortex / data jack, so that's technically a 50.
Okay, so you get all the weapons and then all the expansion bays. All right. So its forward arc has twin or paired X laser cannons, doing a combined total of 16d6 damage in a line.
Oh no!
Aft has a laser net. Port and starboard each have a gyro laser. It has a turret that has paired light orbital death knells, which are what they were using.
That doesn't sound good.
That's what they were using to strike Sandpoint. They were alternating the, and so that's all its weaponry. Its expansion bays. It has a brig, a cargo hold, 2 drop pod launchers, and I mean those are its expansion bays. It doesn't have an exciting expansion base.
Well, I tell you what, we should take their ship.
It is very slow.
We should take their ship's weapons.
We should.
And put them on our ship.
It does have an enemy transponder. There is that.
Yeah. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, but I
ship.
moved, and then you moved, and now, come on.
We shoot the heck out of it.
Now it is the gunnery phase. And yes, you're going to do so much damage to me.
Yeah, we're going to try.
Yeah. Do you want me to get my pitiful little attack out of the way first, and then you guys can wreck me?
Why not?
Sure. Okay. So I did roll a natural 20. For a total of 33. I hope that hits. Please tell me it hits.
That is a... Oh, man. Did Lahan maneuver... Oh, she maneuvered this round, so she did not evade. Our AC is 32. Did you factor in the -2 penalty that I have imposed on your gunner?
I did not. I forgot about it. I can only hit you. I mean, I did roll a natural 20 on an attack.
So I think since you rolled the natural 20, does that turn it into a hit? I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. It's not doubling the damage regardless because it's Starship combat. So, yeah. But that is funny.
Yeah. Wow. I have an abysmal chance of actually hurting you. That's awful.
I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Or die. One of the two.
Probably die.
Okay.
But I guess a gyro laser hits you. Take. Come on, roll. Take 1 point of damage. Pshoo!
The only thing that does is give Oswin. Oswin?
Yeah, you're Oswin.
Yep.
Oswin. Yeah, it gives Oswin something to do on the engineering phase. Because the deflector shield is reduced by 1 more, Oswin.
Yeah.
Flash lathe.
So, Nick, we just learned that I basically have to roll a natural 20 to touch you all.
Ha!
At least for like 2 more rounds after this one. And then it goes down to you need an 18 to touch us. Yeah, that's the other trade-off, because deflector shields are really scary in that it's really easy to take a lot of damage. They're easy to bypass with enough guns, but they do raise your AC and TL, so that's nice.
Sure. But it's your turn, Conrad, to do a murder upon me.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me hit a roll button.
Oh,
I encourage.
A 7.
Well, it's a 4 plus, not 3. That's wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong.
So
Let me try again. Hold on.
I am going to preemptively beg for an audience reroll, though, because that is.
So there's something wrong with the dice.
There's something wrong with the macro, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's either your attack bonus plus your dexterity modifier plus any computer mods, or it's your piloting score plus your dex modifier.
So he's an operative, so it's going to be his piloting ranks.
Yeah, the gunnery thing on the sheet probably doesn't take it into account.
What is your dex mod, Conrad?
Please hold.
Oh, man.
3.
Yeah, so Sebastian has a plus 11 to shooting. Now, I did encourage, and he did, of course, use one of our plus 2s that we keep forgetting to use. So 11 plus...
11 plus 4 plus 2, plus I got a boost, right?
11.
Is that the 2?
So, yeah, 11 plus 4 plus 2 from me plus 2 from the computer is a total of 11 plus... 4 plus 15, which is still only 19. So there's no salvaging that for, sadly.
Sure.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no. Oh,
We're just flailing at each other.
Yeah, this is the danger with Starship Combat.
Yep.
We are playing as level 8 characters in a tier 11 fight.
Yep. I wanted to see what would happen, Tom.
What would happen, Jed, is our attack rolls are too low.
We'll find out.
All right.
Sure. It is engineering phase. Would you like to do anything?
Yeah, we're going to try and bring those shields back up. I do it just fine.
Yeah, you do. If our PCU is... I think if our PCU is 150, it brings it up by another one. I will research that.
It's for every 150 it is brought up.
Oh, good. So our PCU is currently... Where is it?
It's not showing on the...
250. We've got a PCU of 250, so it's just an additional 1. So total of 3 to 1 arc or 1 to each arc.
And if that's it, it's into the Helm phase.
Sweet.
I recommend, I will encourage. Yeah, I said I was going to encourage, so I encourage.
You did.
That was heartbreakingly close, but you beat me by 2.
Ah, the encourage helped. Heartbreaking, heartbreaker. We're flying the heartbreaker.
My ship is like, we are not nimble enough to do this, and it's just going to turn in place, which does not require a skill check. It's hovering there, just staring at you, and the dragon's maw is opening.
Get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way!
Because it's like, we have lost control. We do not have the maneuverability.
I mean, if that's all it's gonna do, then, let's see how maneuverable we can be. We can't, that didn't work. That's okay.
Yeah.
We don't actually have to go that far to get out of their forward arc and put them in ours.
Yeah, exactly.
We could be right there.
We are still in their forward arc there.
Oh, we are.
So, I mean, you just move there and then...
But we can go one more.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
Hello!
Hi! We're gonna wreck your day.
You are. I 100% believe that.
Now, Sebastian, Kimball, says over comms, they're right there. If you miss them...
Sebastian used comms.
Are you being mean to your brother there? Are you demanding them? Are you demanding of them?
No, I can't because I already encouraged the our dear sister Lahan. But I can remind Conrad to take a +2 from the computers.
Is it my turn to roll, or are we in non-gunnery phase yet?
I believe we are in gunnery phase.
That's it.
Yeah, we're at the point where we move and then shoot, and move and shoot.
So hold on, let me make sure I understand this. So I'm going to slash roll +11, +2, +2.
The macro on the sheet should work now.
We shall see.
I just manually forced it to have the right number.
Oh, that's terrible.
Jesus Christ.
Won't anybody give us a reroll?
And look at the damage on that too.
For just 1,000 points, you could save.
Oh man!
I mean, I got attempted to just pay for the reroll myself.
You're not allowed. Only that gets about every roll for us.
I mean, it's only a gyro laser. But I did roll a 19 and my captain encouraged. So I actually hit you with the gyro laser.
That's good. That's good. I'm happy for you. Just keep reducing our shields by 1.
Yeah. 7, which is just nothing, and then your
which
damage
just points off the deflector shields. Yeah, so that's another. Yeah. I like deflector shields. They're nice. It'd be real nice if we could hit. That would also be nice.
Yeah,
but that took that.
Look at the damage roll too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the damage roll is beautiful.
It is very beautiful.
All right,
we're back to engineering.
Same thing I did last time. And shields are at max again.
Beautiful.
All right.
We are an Iron Fortress.
You are an Iron Fortress. All right. Helm Phase.
All right, here goes.
Oh, yeah, Lahan.
Dang it.
Get out.
I mean, it's not going to accomplish anything. Where's the tail? There it is.
Where's the tail? I can't find it.
I like how we're just chasing each other in a spiral.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the right idea.
Yep, I can do it in 6.
Yeah, you can. So we'll just take 1 point of damage.
Yeah, you just have to be there.
And then they are indeed in our forward arc. And I'm going to just evade, heck these guys.
No, it's already so hard.
Yeah, I don't think I can fail at evade.
Yeah.
Oh?
It's only a 21 though.
You say that, and then...
But evade is really low.
I think evade is like, what, 10 plus 1.5
10
times?
plus 1.5 times.
Evade's a
Which
DC
is
12.
26.
Yeah, so I don't quite evade. You're in luck.
Yeah, I still
There
need
is
to
hope.
roll. Still need to roll absurdly high.
All right. Let's go to the gunnery phase, shall we?
So,
Come on, bitch.
I'm going to intimidate Sebastian.
what are the odds I'm going to miss 3 times in a row?
Sebastian, don't you tempt fate, you damn fool. And
No, my fault was I was trying to use the macros. Well, I've learned from my
that's a
mistake.
35 for the captain. I want to say that's, and you know what? I'll even throw on a computers check because we have one left to save for the gunner as well. That is a success. You have a +4 bonus to one specific check. So roll away, my friend, and take a computers bonus while you're at it.
That should be another +2 to that, right?
Yes.
So 27.
Which I believe is exactly what you need to hit. And I miss wildly badly. I rolled a 3 on the die for... it was so bad. It was pitiful.
There we go.
There we go. We hit.
Those are the numbers that we want to see.
47 damage, dear listener, is the number that we wanted to see.
Minus... Oh, a pretty big chunk. Pretty big chunk. Not as high as some of those other damage rolls you've had.
Solid hit. Well, yes. But I didn't know the attack rolls we all know today.
Sure. And I missed wildly with that gyro laser.
Yeah.
Wildly.
Well, I think that was your last round of demoralize or whatever, the taunt.
Yeah.
So.
Engineering.
No shields to boost this round, so we're gonna try for a gun. That boosts the guns for sure.
Sure. Helm Phase. And I rolled a 5 for a total of 20.
Yeah, I got 34. Go ahead and go first.
To turn. So it's not turn. There we go. You're gonna rail me with that cannon sometime. So, my idea for trying slightly underleveled NPCs was a fun idea, but ultimately it did not work out in an entertaining way, and I can feel that. Do we want to keep playing this out, or do we want to play out what is obviously going to happen in that the Heartbreaker will just whittle this down to nothing? Because Lahana's piloting, and you will permanently have the advantage, barring a natural 1 here and there.
I think I agree. In the inevitable conclusion of this is that we're gonna avoid them. We're gonna shoot them with some.
Our numbers are bigger than their numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. In everything but gunning.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm trying my best. Okay.
Hey, it's not your fault, Conrad.
It's my fault.
It's not.
It's Sebastian's fault.
It's
Please.
Sebastian. Let's blame the NPC. Thank you.
Yes.
So, how do we want to describe how this ends? Where does the ship go down? How does let's tell a little bit of a story here. I don't think we need to roll it out. It's like we said, the conclusion's inevitable. But let's tell a little bit of an entertaining story here. How do you guys want this to happen?
So I think we, over probably like 2 or 3 minutes of real time, we just sort of, score it with this crazy, shadowy beam zipping across, blasting a path through the skies over Sandpoint. And it keeps ripping through the shields of the ship. At first, the ship, the dragon's head seems undaunted, but slowly but surely it gets you start seeing glowing holes emerging in its hull, and I think it probably starts riding low in the water, as it were, over I think Raven Roost, because that's like pretty close by on this map.
I thought it crashed into the ocean.
Oh, you thought it crashed into the ocean? That's fine too.
I'd also like to describe that like the combat happening in the city just kind of like pauses as you watch the little ship kind of whittle the big ship down, and the big ship, breaks into pieces and falls into the ocean.
I'm not, because I don't want to eliminate something from as an option from you. I don't think it necessarily breaks into pieces. I think some pieces break off, but I think it stays relatively intact. And I think every once in a blue moon, it misses wildly, but every once in a blue moon, it does manage to fire off its twin X cannons or whatever it has. So there's these shadowy beams just plinking away at it. And then all of a sudden there's just that like Macross level or like Wing Zero twin buster cannon just beam like eliminating cloud structures and whatnot. That just, you nimbly evade that. And sure, it can take a tumble into the ocean relatively nearby. A couple dozen miles away, probably, maybe off the coast of Raven Roost. And I think, on that, we can cut back. Well, I don't have the NPCs prepped for the ground combat. I'm not going to lie, because I thought this was going to go a little bit differently, and I apologize for that. But, when that ends, we're going to be cutting back in time. We're going to be cutting back into Ava coming down in the drop pod. And if you want to workshop it live with me, what do you think would be necessary for Ava's drop pod to hit one of the giants?
There's rules for this.
There is?
Of course there is.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you.
What are the rules for this?
I am here for those rules.
I would argue that according to what I've read, rules is written, you just land where you've programmed the ship to land, down to the square.
Okay, so
nice.
So there's no check.
Okay, so that's landing.
There is vehicle damage, like normal vehicle collision, though.
Oh, okay. So what is the damage rating on the drop pod?
Drop pod damage rating is 6d8 bludgeoning.
Now, is that dealt to the drop pod and the creature struck?
Just the creature struck, because the drop pod is built to take and absorb bludgeoning damage.
Oh, God.
Makes sense.
So, the giant, I don't think I've mentioned his name out loud. I'm sorry. Oh gosh. Tarek Tinnis is in the middle of an epic battle. Is in the middle of an epic battle with Grar, and a drop pod lands on him.
Oh,
Leif, would you like to roll damage?
Way ahead of you, buddy. That's only 23 bludgeoning damage.
But it's not the first damage that they've taken, but it's very close to, so 23. So the Tarek Tinnis rocks, and I think what happens is Tarek Tinnis is launched through the floor of the building that he's on, because he's on the second story stomping around, and he's launched into the ground floor, and there's just the drop pod caromed off of him and maybe kind of like hit and deflected off of him like that, and like ended up crashing into the wall like right here. So if you want to play save on the map, somewhere around there, I would imagine. There's just a blasted hole through the side of this. The entire upper story's torn up. The floor's been blasted out of the second story. It's just a mess.
Jacinto will say through the mind link, well, that was quite an entrance, Ava. Nice job. I think you've got his attention.
And here, I'm going to mark him as prone, because he has to be prone. He just got hit by a drop pod and launched through a building.
Yeah, frankly, I'm surprised that the drop pod's collision damage isn't higher. But I guess that would be a little crazy if it was. Like,
Would be a little bit overpowered.
You would
Yeah.
hyper weaponize. People would hyper weaponize that. You know they
Yeah.
would.
yes.
I'm surprised I haven't heard of someone who just fills up all their expansion slots with drop pods and just shoots them at people on the ground.
The PC missile, yeah.
It's designed to slow down to 60 miles per hour within the last increment. So it is not going orbital drop speeds when it hits.
And to be fair, you described it as like closing over Ava, but this thing will hold how many large or huge creatures? Let me look again.
I had to do the math on it to figure out how many giants can fit in there and to figure out how many drop pods I had to have. So
Not
yes.
as many as one might think.
yeah, technically it's supposed to be real big. I think there are personal drop pods that you can buy though, but that's kind of what I was picturing.
Yeah, but those aren't for starships like these are.
This can hold 5 passengers.
So, and I don't necessarily know. It's up to you guys if you want to try doing another round, but that means 2 people aren't going to have anyone to control is the issue. Because I'm going to stat up some NPCs unless you want to take unless you guys want to spearhead that yourselves, so you can have them to be exactly what you want to be. And then we'll continue the ground combat with Ava, Grar, Jacinto, Artanya, and 2 NPCs to be determined when next we come back. And I keep forgetting. Are we coming back next week? We have a handful of days that we're not going to be able to make, unfortunately.
I know I am not available next week. I will be heading down to PAX Unplugged. But I don't know that stopped us from playing next week.
Sure. Possibly not if Lapis is available. So the 16th, the 23rd, next week, and then the 3rd. So unless something real weird happens, I feel like this is going to be our break until the new year rolls around, isn't it?
We'll be back on January 6th.
Yes, I think it's safe to do that rather than keep people like, will they, won't they?
Yeah. But for playing.
Yeah. So we're going to take a break here with Ava having descended from the heavens in a drop pod and just crashing into a giant, which feels very Ava to me.
All I ever wanted.
That's all I ever wanted. And,
the good news is this gives people a chance to catch up on our back episodes, which will all be out soon.
Yeah, Nick's been churning through them, and it's been amazing. Constantly seeing announcement. Sometimes it's 2-3 episodes a day. It's great. I love seeing that. It makes me smile.
Yeah. And following that will be resultant podcast episodes of the same kind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're catching up.
Yeah, I actually scheduled last week's episode today. So
sweet.
They're all on their way now.
Nice.
To a feed near you.
So I'd like to thank the viewers and my players for joining me, especially my players for putting up with this little experiment that I tried that did fail. I'm not going to shy away from the fact that it failed, but I wanted to try it, and we'll tweak some things for the next ground-based section. We'll probably,
if you didn't tell us it failed, we wouldn't know, Jed.
I mean, the fact that we stopped and we're like, let's narrate the end of this is a pretty big tell.
That's how a lot of, honestly, Jet, that's how a lot of Starship Combats should end.
Because this is Starship Combat, not you.
Yeah, that is, as always with Starship Combat, I like the concept of it, but like, you know, the actual playing it out gets a little repetitive.
Yeah.
So
speaking of that, I want to try the mech combat rules. I'm curious because I listened to the Cosmic Crit play with the mech combat rules. They did that one shot, and then there was that episode where they actually dropped a mech, and I believe Sprouts was piloting it, if I'm remembering correctly, unless that was a fever dream. And
very well could have been.
And I remember thinking, oh, this is interesting, and there's like just enough more to it to make it more interesting than the way Starship Combat is to me. Like, I want to love Starship Combat, but there's just something that's not quite there. If that makes sense. Kind of like,
there's just
I want to love
not quite enough options.
That's what it is. Like, there's not enough interactivity. It's
because you build these cool characters, and then, you know, they have all these options and stuff and class features, and then you put them in a starship where they can't use any of that, or a lot of that, I should say. There are, yes, class options for Starship Combat.
Yeah, but thank you all for joining me. Thank you for trying that experiment.
Thank you for designing.
Thank you. Thank you, Paizo, for publishing the material that I'm adapting, and hopefully I'm doing it some justice. Thank you, Leif, for running Hydra. And who do we have to thank for supplying music?
You're muted.
I said thank you, Lo-Fi Girl and Alex Productions for the music.
Thank you, Lo-Fi Girl and Alex Productions. I got to a point in my notes that makes me feel sad, because it's like, what's going on with Fly For Your Die, Tom? But that's not...
You need to change that in your notes.
I know.
You know?
What do we have something that's going to be happening Sunday, Nick?
We don't have anything. Well, we do have something that's going to be happening Sunday. Look out for an announcement, exciting news coming out this weekend about Series 5. Notably, we will be launching a shiny new contest. So keep your ears to the ground for details about that.
Sure. The next part of my notes is coming up next week, which we just talked about. It's going to be coming up in 4 weeks-ish, five-ish weeks, because holidays.
Yeah.
We'll be coming back to this and some ground-based combat, which is honestly where this system kind of thrives. If anyone has any questions, comments, shout-outs, feel free to contact us. We got Discord. The link is below if you're looking at us on Twitch. If you don't feel comfortable with Discord or joining us in our server on Discord, we also have an email, nonstandardaction@gmail.com. But definitely hit us up on Discord. If for no other reason, then you can go into our welcome channel or our feedback channel, and you can fill out an icebreaker question, and you can give me ammunition to ask my players about their characters. And I very much appreciate it. And soon, Nick will as well.
I will, yeah. Of course, you know, I can use all the ones that we already used for the other 3 shows, so...
Except the ones that are like, hey, if your character were a Pathfinder character, what class would they be?
We'll just flip it to Starfinder, it's fine.
Yeah. Mostly a goof.
If your character was a different Pathfinder character, what would they be?
If they had all the Pathfinder 1 classes at their disposal.
No, don't do that to me. I don't know Pathfinder 1. Anyway.
But I think it's about time for us to say goodbye, and we will be bouncing over into general chat if you want to bounce in and say hi if you're on our Discord.
Goodbye, and we will be bouncing into general chat if you're on our Discord. Some bullshit.
Something, chat.
I gotta end it.
Just the worst.
I know, I gotta do it the worst. I gotta make you guys suffer. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.